know, this place refuses to let up. I don't know what this place is, but what I do know is there's not one word in my vocabulary that could explain the depth of how annoyed I am with existing in this realm. It's a nightmare that I don't care to have any longer. As I'm walking around in my daily life, I feel as if I've died. I feel like I'm dead all the time. I haven't even made a video of any topic, whether it be the guitar or antinatalism. I haven't, because I feel dead inside. Dang, that's a nice Beamer. That motherfucker clean. You know, I feel like there's a looming entity above me at all times. An ethereal looming entity that doesn't have my best interest in mind. Even though I'm doing okay, but there's this looming presence that I feel like something's extracting something from me. I feel like I'm being extracted. I feel like something's feeding off of me. I don't want to say generic things that other people say, but it's all that I experience. I experience a farming of a sort. I don't have dreams anymore because I toke all the time. Because how else do you survive as a slave? How else do you survive? You have to do something. You can't just be enslaved your whole life, work 5 to 6 days out of 7 and just go home and eat peas and carrots and be like, I'm fine. No, we're not fine. We're not fine. We're spiritually encapsulated in some type of a third dimensional / fourth dimensional prison. Some esoteric chamber of some Hindu, I don't know, some Egyptian curse. Where you see all the Mayans working constantly. You know that pottery art where when you spin it really fast, you see a bunch of slaves moving around and working? That's how I feel. I feel like I'm stuck in some type of a Hindu curse. Some type of an Egyptian curse of a sort. What we're going through as people here is so mind-bending that no word can even explain it. I mean, I feel so bad. I feel so bad for each and every one of you, including myself. Watch myself age. Watch all my hopes and my dreams go down the drain. Even though I've manifested them, they still go down the drain. Even when they manifest, there's always some barrier. There's always some problem. There's always something wrong here. It doesn't matter how much I eat or how much I study or what. It's not good enough. I don't even care anymore. I care about spirituality and stuff and Christianity and religion and trying to seek but I just don't care. I don't care to continue to keep posting these videos anymore. I feel like a crybaby, even though it's justifiable because what's happening to me and what's happening to you is something from the tip of the devil's dick. You know, if this world was explained to anybody before they got here, they would think that this place is hell. What kind of place where your thirst is never quenched, where your hunger is never satiated, where your lips are always chapped, where no matter when you do work, it always undoes itself and you have to do it again. Oh my God, man, I just don't know how much I can, but I know I can take a lot, because it's been a lot. It's been almost 20-something years straight of slavery. Almost 20 years of slavery. And it's gonna be more, unless I figure it out and the matrix unlocks itself and it gives me the keys. I was able to acquire some keys to get up out of here, to live better while being enslaved, but it's not enough keys to lock the doors behind me. That way I don't have to keep opening them up to survive, dealing with the same people to thrive. At a point in a man and a woman's life, being around people is incredibly toxic. It's hard to develop yourself and become who you need to be and come closer to God and whatever we're here to figure it out, or whether that may be true or not. It's hard to do it while you're enslaved, while you're encapsulated. It's hard to worship while you got a 9 to 5, and when you get home you pass out, and then every time you open your phone is a problem, or your computer, or a bill comes. How do you ascend? How do you think positively in a world full of negativity? I heard that the secret to life is to constantly stay happy in a world full of negativity. What kind of shit is that? It's just so infuriating. This is the perfect hell. I always say a hell with fire and brimstones and pitchforks. It's boring for a demon. You know, now this is a true hell when you gotta watch people beg for their freedom and they gotta write endless amounts of paperwork and study. We have to study and take tests to have the right to be a slave here on this life. What kind of shit? It's already bad enough our lives are taken from us, but we have to study and pass tests to keep up the right to be able to be a slave? Constantly. There's constantly new updates and changes and policies and implementations and credentials that you have to acquire everywhere you go, just to continue to be a slave. What kind of demonic stuff is this? I don't feel inspired. I don't feel inspired to draw closer to the Lord. Why would I feel inspired to draw closer to the Lord when He already knows what's going on and He's just watching? Why would I want to? Now, I'm a Christian, yeah, and I still draw to the Lord because I'm afraid and I ain't got no power. So I'm gonna stick to the one that got the power, whether I like him or not. I don't care. I'm a Christian. I'm gonna put my hand up. Nope, because obviously God's in control of this. It doesn't matter if I like Him or not. I'm with Him because that motherfucker got the power. I don't give a fuck if he's right or wrong for whatever he's done. And it's been a lot of wrong, and we all know that. I still don't care. I still choose Him because He's bigger. He's bigger. I'm just a puppet on a string. You're just a puppet on a string. It just makes it so frustrating because I want a relationship, a better relationship with God. But you can't have a relationship with something that don't talk to you. And the ways that He does talk to you are indirect. Like there's a million year plan going on for us that's above our head, so much so that we don't even get the right to talk. We don't even get the right to debate about anything. We just have to experience it and suffer hunger, thirst, loss, guilt, sorrow, shame, empathy, lust. Worse and worse and worse. Why would God spawn us up inside of an oven where it's so hot outside that you can't even rest? 104 degrees outside. Why would God put us inside of an oven where we have to fight in a totalitarianistic pyramid scheme against totalitarianism? You know what I mean. People are always power tripping. You can't move up and you can't ascend in companies. And then when you do ascend somewhere, people just talking about how you're just a cog in a machine and you shouldn't be working for other people. You should start your own business. How do you do these things? How do you do all this stuff successfully? And how do you do it all right the first time? You know, people only have a certain amount of bullets in their gun before they run out of ammunition with trying things in life. People are always saying, just get up and do that. Just get up and do this. Try this job. No, I already shot all my bullets out of my gun. I don't have anything left. I don't have anything left but a gun, my vessel, my body that just shows up and gets berated and abused by NPCs who have no idea about what's going on. And if they do, then they act brainless because it's easier to be stupid than it is to be real. What is real? What you can see, taste, touch, and smell, like how Morpheus said? How does that define real? That's not real. That's just a definition of an element of a mechanism inside of a cog, inside of a machine, inside of something bigger. That doesn't make it necessarily real, even though real is about perspective. What makes something real is amnesia. Because it doesn't matter where you manifest. As long as you have amnesia, then that reality is your reality. Then it's real. So being real means to be in a state of confusion. Because you have to be confused and disoriented for your reality to become real. What do you do with them apples? Because you can't grind them up and eat them because they're all tainted with chemtrails and poison from the supposed cloud seeding, which we all know that it's not. We all know that it's biological warfare, and all this stuff is just masquerading around as normal. Look at it. It's masquerading around as normality. Trees, brick fence, light. So now you think you're not in hell because you don't see brimstone and fire. Well, that's just another layer deep in the simulation of the evil. To continue to extract and farm our emotions. Every single day something pops up or manifests in life that makes you angry, that makes you produce this stupid term louche. That's the stupidest term louche. I'll just call it, you produce some type of a fourth dimensional inner food substance for a fourth dimensional being that's here but yet not here. It's ethereal, it's non-solid, it's semi-non-solid, it's semi-solid. Whatever it is, it's very real. And it creates scenarios that makes us extract their foods. Now, that's just a hypothesis, but that's what it damn sure feels like, especially with the amount of bombarding negative information that we face on a daily basis. You gotta smoke to get through. You gotta drink. You gotta do something. You gotta do something. I hope that all this ends. I'm at the point in life where I don't even want to continue living. I don't even want to see another day. I don't believe that it's going to get better. If it does get better, then that's nice. But I don't believe it. Because every time I get better, the matrix readjusts itself. It doubles down on its bullshit. It gets harder and harder. I get smarter, then the jobs require every 100% of my brain to work this barely above minimum wage job. I have to use 100% of my brain. And then if I learn that, then it doesn't matter because now the company is going under. You better find another job, loser. Then you find another job, and then the cycle repeats. You get bullied for a while. You learn the job. You try to prove it, and then you get to that rank, and then people want to undermine what you've accomplished, and then the job, and then people start talking about, and then things start happening in the job where you feel like you gotta leave because it's unprofessional, and then you don't leave. You stay. You level up, and then next thing you know, the company goes out of business or something worse happens, and it happens every single time. Women out here holding people to standards that aren't even realistic. Talking about you gotta be able to provide. You gotta be able to do things that only the 1% can do. Women want you to make the income of two people for one person, and somehow figure it all out. And if you don't, you're not a man. They'll say a bunch of nice stuff in between, but at the end of the day, if you don't figure out how to make two incomes and make more than them, you'll make more money than them, you won't have any respect. You'll be treated like a dog. Your family won't take you seriously. When you speak, they'll turn away because who are you? You don't have anything. So until you have something, what you say isn't relevant. I learned that the hard way. I got things now. I'm talking about my younger self. But it's been negative. This place has been so sad. Every time I turn around, someone's dead, or dying, and it happens every other week. Someone's dead, dying, and then getting mad at you because you're not available, even though you've told them that you're a slave, that you're imprisoned in some type of a dimensional prison. And now you're crazy. Now you use the word dimensional. You use the word slave. You use the word prison. You know, this is the small-brained people that we had to deal with. And these people are our bosses. These people control our paychecks. And not one person is identifying or keeping it real that we don't know where we are. We don't know what's going on. Everything is overcomplicated. And everything is sad and full of grief and sorrow and tragedy and death and weird alien activity, demonic activity, sexual mutation, sexual extraction. Something's trying to take our energy out of us constantly. This place is sick. I don't even know how I'm still alive. I'm 35. I don't know how I made it to 35. Because I've been talking like this and feeling like this and thinking like this since I was 17 or 16 years old. And it's only